Hey, what's up, everybody? Listen, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Yeah, I got your attention now, right? Number two, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Number three, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Number four, you can make money from your podcast. That's right. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum viewership. Number five, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So right now, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, everybody? My name is Cliff, and you are listening to the What Now Podcast. That's right, the What Now Podcast, where we, through conversation, discuss ways that we can effectively address life's most difficult moments. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's episode. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What Now Podcast. My name is Cliff. I'm excited that you're listening. I want to thank each and every one of you that have been listening thus far. I want to encourage you to share the show. If you're enjoying this podcast, I encourage you to share it with somebody that you believe could benefit from hearing the content that we're creating. Again, if you have any ideas that you would like me to talk about or any subjects you would like me to cover on the show, do not hesitate to reach out to me, okay? This is me being either translucent or transparent with you guys about certain circumstances and situations that I faced in life that have made me who I was today. And with many other circumstances and situations, as I've stated before, it looked like there was no way, no hope, no how. So if you're in that state in your life, I encourage you, do not give up. Do not walk away. Do not throw in the towel. Do not say, this is my lot. Understand that there are principles, techniques, and strategies wrapped within every test and every trial that you are experiencing. And I promise you this very thing, that if you will begin to say, okay, God, okay, universe, whoever you subscribe to, whatever you subscribe to, show me the lessons I need to learn from this situation that I can apply to my life so that now I can develop some fortitude inside of me to stand and resist my desire to walk away from this thing, so that when I meet individuals that are going through the same thing, I can begin to minister or talk to them about it, and talk to them with the power and the authority that I have now gained, because I'm not talking to them about something that I don't believe in. I'm not talking to them about something that I'm not mastering or have mastered. I'm talking to them about something that I can own for myself. So that's my encouragement to you guys, all right? So let's go. Here we are, second part. We're talking about, I thought their life was better without me. I went back and listened to part one, and I really was encouraged by a lot of the things that I said, because sometimes you don't realize how self-aware you become until you have time to sit back and reflect on where you once were. The good thing about me recording this is the fact that I get to hear me talking about it. So I can hear myself talking about it and say, Cliff, do you really own that? Or you're just saying that for the people? I take pride in the fact that I'm not just a person that's going to get on here and tell you what I feel the right thing is to do. I'm not going to get on here and tell you something opposed to exactly what I do. I'm going to get on here and tell you the raw truth. I'm going to tell you the ugly side of purpose. I'm going to tell you the ugly side of greatness. I'm going to tell you the ugly side of character development. Why? Because those are the places, those are the spaces, those are the times when everything that has been invested inside of us is tested. And what really matters is not that you fall, not that you make a mistake, not that you feel as if there's no way, no hope, no how, but everything that matters is what you do beyond that. When you feel like giving up, do you give up? When you feel like walking away, do you walk away? When you feel like being isolated and you know where that isolation takes you, do you allow yourself to be isolated, or do you embrace other people who can help push and motivate you to understand the purpose that resides inside of you? All right. What do you do with it? That's the reality of it. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it seems like. And I'm not saying I don't care in the sense of who cares. I'm saying it in the sense of that does not define you. Your last mistake does not define you. None of those things define you. What you classified as a failure does not define you. What defines you is what you do now, not next, now. So as we're talking about this subject, my question to each and every one of you, you're where you're at right now. You're facing the situations you're facing right now. My question to you is, what are you willing to do with your now? All right, so I thought their life was better without me. So, I gave you guys the backdrop of that. So now I want to talk about, where it led me to. It led me to in understanding that sometimes I was being selfish in it because I just felt like not just their life was better without me, but my life was better without me having to face the drama. Now, granted, many times I created the drama, but I didn't want to face the drama that I created because, after all, I'm not for a lot of drama. And I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people that say I'm not for a lot of drama, many times we find ourselves in drama. Now, here's the thing. We may not have desire for it to create drama, but for some reason, when we refuse to deal with what we need to deal with in our lives, it attracts drama. Whatever degree of drama it attracts. And I want to say this. Don't be on your high horse and look at somebody else and say, oh man, drama always follows them. Maybe drama follows them because you're around. Did you ever think about that? And I'm encouraging each of us to look internally at ourselves. One of the greatest things I've learned with every situation in my life, and especially with my divorce, was looking at myself to see what I could have done better. Not looking to pass the buck on to anybody else. Even in my business, did a radio show last night, and I was talking to a young man, and he was talking about how his first business failed. And he said one of the greatest lessons he learned in a failed business was understanding that it failed, and it's not everybody else's fault. Maybe it's something inside of me that is contradicting the success that I'm supposed to have in the business arena, or in the business world. And you can apply that to every area of your life. Sometimes relationships fail. Praise God that they fail, because some of you will still be stuck in certain situations if it didn't fail to the point where you could have walked away from it. Sometimes in ministry, we have projects that fail. Now, I know that at Cliff, because God told me to do this. Y'all, sometimes I'm not always going to say God didn't tell us to do some things, because I do believe that God tells us to do some things. But sometimes the purpose of him telling us to do some things is for ourselves. Then there is times when we want to do it ourselves, and then we hide behind God said, God told me, God. We will pass the blame. I'm going to tell you, it's two entities that we pass the buck on to more than anything. All right? More than anything. Now, one cannot compare to the other. However, these are the two entities that get blamed the most for our excrement. That's the nice way to say it, our excrement. And that is God. If it goes wrong, we're going to blame God. If it goes right, sometimes we haven't learned to give him glory, honor, and praise. I'm not saying that's always the case, But if it goes wrong, well, God told me to do it. God told me to marry them. God told me, I know God told me to marry them. Okay, baby, you said God told you to marry them, but we're not even going there tonight. We're not even going there. God told me to marry them. So then, if we can't put the blame on God, the devil. The devil. I got a headache. The devil is a liar. My toe hurt. The devil is a liar. My blood pressure's up. The devil is a liar. Well, maybe it's not the devil. Maybe it's our diet. We got the wrong D. Maybe it's the diet. Maybe it's our lack of discipline. I'm not attacking anybody because, hey, there's some areas in my physical body or my physical life that I need to become more disciplined in. So I get it, okay? But I'm not going around here blaming the devil for that which is going on in the midst of my life. No, I understand that I made some choices. And sometimes I make great choices, and sometimes I make not so great choices. Sometimes I make choices that are based on me researching situations, and sometimes I make choices that are just spontaneous. And with every choice that I make, there are consequences behind it. It is not God's fault. It is not the devil's fault. Sometimes it has been my fault because I refuse to allow myself to be as great as the Creator desires for me to be. So I guess this podcast is taking another route, guys. I guess we're going to have to wait for part 2 of I Thought Their Life Was Better Than Mine. I guess I really want to just talk to us about understanding how powerful we are. And along with power comes responsibility. Along with responsibility comes accountability. And I feel like sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be powerful enough to take responsibility for the decisions that we make in our life or the decisions we refuse to make in our lives. And I want each and every one of you to understand really how powerful you are. Like, when the Creator created you, He created you with everything that you need on the inside of you. And you might say, well, if that's the case, why do I need people? See, here's why I'm glad you asked that. See, you need people to spark some of those things inside of you. One of the things that I've learned about myself is that I am a conversationalist. One of my greatest gifts in life, I have many times ran from or hidden. And that is the power of conversation within me. I have the ability to walk into a room, have a conversation with you, and cause you to solve your own problems. That's the gift of the teacher that's inside of me, because it's not imperative that I solve your problems. That's why I'm a coach as well. I'm not going to give you the solutions. I'm not going to go to swing the bat for you if we're playing baseball. I'm not going to throw the football for you if we're playing football, run the football for you if we're running the football. I'm not going to do any of those things in your life. I'm going to stand and coach you. I'm going to coach you in practice. But by the time you get in the game, now it's your responsibility to take all the tools, techniques, and strategies that I have given you as a coach, and then you apply those things to your life. And as you apply those things to your life, then it begins to connect with the essence of your creation. And when it connects to the essence of your creation, something begins to happen underground, like there's a rumbling that begins to take place, something that many times can't be described. But what's going on is the tools, strategies, and techniques that I've given you now have dug past everything that you've used, whether as an excuse, everything geographically that can hold you back, everything mentally that can hold you back, everything spiritually that can hold you back, everything financially that can hold you back. Those tools, strategies, and techniques dig deep within you beyond all of that, and it connects with the essence or the purpose of your creation. And lodged within the essence and the purpose of your creation are those gifts, talents, and abilities. So now there becomes a merger between the tools, techniques, and strategies that I give you as a coach they begin to merge with your gifts, talents, and abilities, then something beautiful is created far beyond what you ever dreamt, thought, and imagined, and is classified as purpose. That's how powerful you are. It's not that you need someone externally to tell you what you need to do. You just need someone that can see past all of that junk, see past all of that mental beating or mental beatdowns that you've given yourself and you've allowed others to give to you, and begin to ignite the fire that is already inside of you. Because there's greatness lodged in you. But with greatness comes great responsibility. With great responsibility comes accountability. And one of the things is we don't want to be accountable sometimes. Why? Because I'm grown. Yeah, sometimes that grownness has gotten us into trouble. We don't have, now here's what I'm going to say. We have all the answers, but sometimes we don't have access to all of the answers. So we need to connect with individuals that will lead us to the access to the answers that are inside of us. I tell people all the time that as a coach, all I do is I don't give you the keys, or I may give you the keys. But many times I don't have to give you the keys. I just have to lead you back to the door and remind you of where you put the key down. It's like when you have a spare key to the house or to a door, okay? A lot of people leave their spare key to the door under a mat, somewhere near the door, under a plant near the door or whatever. You know how you do your spare key. What happens in life is sometimes the door that we once had access to, that we did not want to have access to because it required us to do too much work, or it required us to face some of the things that we do not want to face, we hid that key to that door. And then we went and found some other doors that would give us access to opportunities or situations that wouldn't require so much out of us. And then those situations fell through. I can speak, for my own self. I've always tried to find an alternate route. I've always tried to find a shortcut. I always tried to find something that would not require me to face some of the things that I spent years running from. However, the reality is that once I had exasperated all of that and there was nothing left, and it was still an emptiness there, and it was still a pull for greater, and it was still a pull that there was more to life than this, I found myself right back at that door, now trying to remember where I put the key. Well, sometimes you have to connect with a coach. Sometimes you have to connect with a therapist. Sometimes you have to connect with a pastor, a prophet, or anybody of the fivefold function, or you have to connect with a conversationalist that can remind you where you hid that key, where you hid that gift, that talent, that ability, where you hid that connection that you once had with the essence of your creation. Or maybe you've never had that connection or never acknowledged that you had that connection, because many times we had the connection to the access. It's just that sometimes we don't realize that that is the access. We don't realize that that's what was really behind the door. We don't realize that that is that which we were seeking for. Many times we're looking, as I think I already said this, we're searching for something that was built inside of us, developed inside of us, planted inside of us. We're looking for it externally when it's really internally that we can gain the access. So my encouragement to you today is that you will no longer look externally for what you need internally, because that's also causing you to think that individual lives are better without yours. I'm going to tie it in, some kind of way, because that was what we were going to talk about on tonight. We're going to do part 2. And as you're searching and discovering and attempting to find you, my prayer is that you will be led back to the door that was the original door connected to your purpose. And you will connect with who you need. Well, first connect with the creator that created you. Connect with the essence of your creation. And then connect with someone who can stir that up inside of you and stir up your imagination or stir up your mind to remember where you hid the key. So you can go get the key and open the door that grants you access to everything that has been designed for you. As I always say, create a great day, walk with purpose, and by all means, execute your vision. Be blessed. Can you identify any areas in your life where stagnation is manifesting? Now, I know some of you might say, no, I can't. Well, I want us to look at stagnation for what it really is. Some people have identified stagnation as something that's not growing or that's not producing. I don't believe that's stagnation. To me, stagnation can also be that yes, we're growing, yes, we're producing. However, we're growing and producing in a manner that's disrespectful to the purpose and the greatness that resides inside of us. And listen, we all have areas where we can identify that we could be doing a lot better in. There's greater potential in those areas than we are experiencing. And guess what? I have a tool that will help you begin to experience transformation in those areas of stagnation in your life. And that tool is called From Stagnation to Transformation. That's right. That is my book, From Stagnation to Transformation. So I want you to head over to my website, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. I want you to hit there. I want you to hit the transformation tab. There you're going to find a free preview of my book. That's right. A free preview of my book. And I promise you, after you read the preview, you're going to want to invest in your personal transformation through purchasing the book. So again, hit over there. Purchase the book. Let me know you purchased it. Here's what I always say, guys. If you purchase the book, you read the book, you apply the principles in your life, and yet you still are stagnant in the areas that you are applying them to, and you're not experiencing any transformation, and you can prove to me that you have applied these principles, I will give you a 100% refund. That's right, a 100% refund. Why? Because I believe in the application of the principles that are outlined in this book. So again, visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com and purchase your copy of From Stagnation to Transformation.